Hello, family. Thank you for coming over to the house tonight. And just kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Party on down to the SK beat. We're kicking. Just kicking. Just kicking. Okay, you don't come to another episode where we're going to be asking the question of, why you telling my business? Don't be telling my business. Why not? Because a can and a can, a can, a can, and a wheel. Now we're off to... Hello, family. I hope you all are doing beautifully. Okay, we know we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Welcome back to the channel, or if you're new to the channel, welcome, okay? And hopefully you'll stay. Subscribe, like, and share my videos, okay? But if not, you just came, into whatever, and you had to click off because I wasn't your type of tea. That's cool as well, okay? No foul, no harm. But thank you for all of my supporters that have been there from day one, all my ones who have come in and I didn't even ask them to, and the ones I've been begging to come, thank you. Okay, but everything over here on this channel is alleged. We don't know nothing of to be the truth. We just look at something, we get a little information, and we just go on about our business and talk about it. All right, that's all we doing, having a discussion. Okay, so let me see. I forgot what the title was of it. I know it's season 4. I think it's have something to do with bucking. Oh, let's see if I can find it. Because last time I did a review, y'all said I left out a lot, so I'm trying to cover it today as it appears. Okay, but it was season 15, episode 4, The Buck Stops in Birmingham. Okay, so I took each cast member, by whatever they gave me. So we didn't leave anything out for somebody to say, well, you didn't give us a juice. You just told us half of the juice. We want the full-fledged juice, so I'm giving y'all the full-fledged juice. Now, in this particular episode, Candy had a event to attend, and Drew, she called herself that she was sick. I don't know. Drew lied. She just didn't want to go. Okay? In my perspective, or how I took the situation when it was brought to me. Okay, so those two are out. Let's talk about Manyata. Manyata was showing Kenya some dance moves, but I honestly think Kenya was not going to appear or perform with the Magic City HBUC college that she was giving, I guess, funds back to their organization or their school. And she was doing it by, I don't know, somehow she was partnering with her, hair supply line. I don't know if she was raising money or helped them raise the money, or she was going to get them a check. Shit, I don't know, because I wasn't interested in that. Okay? So, Manyata, like I said, her and Kenya are at a dance studio. And she's trying to get Kenya to learn the moves. And to me, Kenya she won. That's why I said, I don't know how she fared. How she was dancing so beautifully when she was on something. I forgot what it was, the silver disco ball. I don't know what it was called, but hell, she didn't win. But we supported her, as much as I could. I watched the show, and that was it. Did I donate money or something to the call? No, I didn't do all of that. Did I call in? No. I don't want a phone on me, okay? That really was pretty much it about Manyata. Okay, well, no. Roy called Manyata on the phone. And, he was asking her what she was doing. All the shit was scripted. It was for play. Because I can't see Roy calling Manyata unless it was for an event, I guess. And he needs some choreography. choreography, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's now, I don't know, bro just playing into his PR stunt that they got him supposedly Kenya liking him and they flirting and this, that, and the third. Or he pretty much wants some ass. I don't know. He might like black ass. Who knows? Especially if he know Manetta. Okay, Manetta has worked with Prince as far as choreography now. Hell, she named some other names, but that's the only one that stuck. When she said Prince, I said, what? Okay, so she's well known in the industry. Okay, we move on from her. We go, well, let me just say, when it was time to go to Kenya's event, well, hell, she left Kenya. She left Marlo. I think that was it. Oh, and she left Sanya. But we'll move on into that later on. But, yeah, Kenya left Manetta and shit. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. Because she wasn't dressed appropriately. So, Kenya said, you ain't got no other dress, little black dress you can put on. We ain't going partying. We're going to a very well refined dinner, or I don't know what they call it, pop-up something. But when we see how Kenya had lied and portrayed this event or dinner they were going to, that they were hosting in her favor, I guess, hell, I don't know. It was just a plain washout. You know what I'm saying? Total washout. But anyway, Manetta went and got changed. Kenya had left her, and she had found a way there. All right, now we move on to Courtney. Courtney comes over to see Marlo at some event hall or someplace where she's getting made up in a Halloween costume type motif, her and her boys. And I really didn't get the gist of it, but they go on and talk because Marlo has her sister there with her. And they're talking about Candy and how well, first they were talking about Drew and the situation they got into, I think. Then they started talking about Candy, didn't send no flowers. She didn't come over, and grieve with the family a little bit. She just didn't do anything, but this was a past employee of hers. The only thing I got to say in Candy's defense, yes, she could have sent some flowers, or she could have called you, Marlo, and said, your nephew worked for me. He was a good worker. Or if he wasn't a good worker, just fake it. The boy's dead. You know what I'm saying? And she could have asked, is there anything I could do for you all? I heard this, that, and the third had happened. But it didn't happen on Candy's premises, Marlo. That's like saying you go, say whatever job you were working for. So you working for Tyler Perry, XYZ. Okay? Which I think you're still doing wardrobe stuff for him. For the apparel, but that's neither here nor there. Say you introduce your boys to Tyler Perry. He may have met them briefly, you know what I'm saying? And then something happened to the boys. And then you want Tyler Perry to come and, give you a thank you card or send you some flowers or attend the funeral. But the boys worked for him some time ago. You see where we're going with this? Some people just don't have that empathy nor sympathy in them. So you can't blame it on them because they didn't really learn it and nobody taught it to them. So I'm like, you can't blame Candy for that. You can and you can't. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like y'all on the best of, excuse me. It's not like y'all on the best good intentions with one another. Y'all at each other's throats. So she was feeling some kind of way. I'm gonna give her that she just like, I ain't fucking with you, and that's it. I don't care what happened in your life. But that's what I saw when it came to that. When we came to Courtney shows up at over there where Marlo's getting made up, dressed like I don't know what. And, she goes in to say, how you doing? You look great. This, that, and third. And Marlo lets her know what her and her sister were talking about. But Courtney's playing a very pivotal part in her life by trying to get some of her record expunged. You know what I'm saying? Wiped clean off the books, in a sense. And, she's telling her sister nobody ever, did that for her. Candy never did that for her. And I was like, girl, why you got candy in your mouth again? Stop that. Stop that bullshit. if you with somebody that's going to straighten some things out for you that you need straightened out, pay them folks and say thank you, and hopefully it happens in your favor that everything is white clean. But you cannot sit there and blame Candy for everything that don't go right in your life. I mean, sick of that shit, okay? So let that go, Marlo. Let that go. Find some other um thing you can get with Candy on, you know, or Kenya. Or have us with Sanya. You know what I'm saying? But the shit is getting too old for you to continue to be attacking Candy like she owe you something. Does she owe you something, girl, and you ain't telling us? That's what you need to be talking about. Candy owe you something. But anyway, after that, Courtney had no real position and being shown. We move on to Chevrolet. I don't know what the hell Chevrolet was there for, because she gave us nothing. And again, I don't know why she was there. Maybe she had to get her quota in for filming. But she did ask one crazy sexual type of question. I don't know if she said she heard it from somebody. No, that was Sanya who brought it up. But anyway, Sheree took it a little further. She asked Kenya, didn't you say you did that before? Of course, Kenya said she was young. She was in her 20s. But she did lick somebody's ass. Okay, I was like, Kenya, really? And we move on from that situation because people were like, they were floored that Kenya had even attained or was entertained by that type of sexual pleasure. Okay, so it shows that Kenya has a dark side, all right, a freaky side. But then we move on to Sanya. Sanya sits in her office at home. She was trying to talk to her mother and her sister about them leaving. Of course, you know, mama and sister was taken aback because they thought they were all good, and from what they understand, the living arrangement was supposed to be for 1 to 2 years. But Ross is getting tired of them folks up in his house. He want to go butt naked. He want to be butt naked. I don't know what Ross is trying to do. He been a little bit too much. That's all I got to say. He been a little too much. Because if Sanya could have it her way, her mom and sister and brother-in-law and dad will be there with her in eternity. But I guess Ralph is feeling somewhat crowded. But I'm like, them your people, them your folks. What are you talking about? You don't need to be throwing them out there and they good babysitting material. You kidding me? But Sonya didn't stand up for her family against Ross, or she could have, made it a little bit better. So, we said 1 to 2 years. And right now, if you're trying to tell me you want to have a baby, I really need them here. So I'm sorry, we're going to have to extend that to 2 years. And hell, if it needs to be 5 years, we're going to send it to 5 years, okay? But anyway, Sanya just, was like, well, this is what we won. She was trying to play like on the team and this, that, and third, that it was both their decisions and not just Ross. How that Sonya's sister get up like she too fit to be tied. I guess she called her husband because he's supposed to be Sonya's assistant, but he ain't checking in off that list. That list was long as hell. But anyway, I guess the sister go back and tell her husband get mad, and he quits on Sonya right in the middle of the time that he really needed her. And then Sonya's sister didn't even come to an event to do her hair and makeup, I guess because she was still salty about they need to get the hell on out their house. Okay, it's not a year. It's not 2 years, it's 1 year. And they probably give them a month to get adjusted to getting out of their house. I said, damn, Sonya and Ross, y'all ain't no good. And mama and daddy, make up your mind, girl. You're going to either have them with you to death do you part, or you're going to, make sure they get something, that wherever they want to go. I think they want to go to Florida anyway to retire. That's not really something I understand. It's not something I really know. I just threw that shit out there, okay? Then we got, let's see. And Sonya was trying to be there for Kenya. she had to do something with, I don't know, some kind of promotion or some kind of advertisement with sportscasting, because that's what she do on the side. No, she get money for that. And she had told Kenya she had to leave at her event, but she will be back. So I mean, she be catching a flight from Birmingham and catching a flight right back to Birmingham. So I like, that's cool. That's a friend indeed. That's a friend indeed. To come and support you the way she has definitely tried to support you. Okay, and then let me see. Pretty much the whole gist of the situation is Ross want his house back. He want everybody out his house, and he's putting Sanya up to telling her folks, okay? Instead of both of them sitting down and telling them, y'all got to go. And that's pretty much it. He did let her do the dirty work. Then, let me see. That's pretty much all with Sanya. Then we go to Marlo. Marlo and her and the boys, like I said, was at an event or getting prepared for some kind of photo shoot. And they were having an event, and her and the boys got dressed up in Halloween motifs. And Marlo was sitting there talking to her sister about, how come Candy can't be who she says she is. She didn't want to talk about the shooting in her restaurants. She wanted to bring up her past about her getting in a fight with someone and slashing their face and this, that, and the third. And it was just a lot. She thought Candy should have been more accountable. And, there's really no sound basis for Candy to be in attendance to someone that used to work for her. And he may not have been a good worker, or he may have been the cream of the crop. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? The whole deal was he was no longer an employee. He had left for some time. It's not like it actually happened right after Candy or her nephew resigned. Because, I ain't going to say he left her high and dry and just went on by his business. He's going to keep it on the up and up and say, he resigned in his position and he moved on to something bigger or better. But Marlo's just stuck on it, I guess, since Candace, the oldest running housewife, and she knows she's making bank. She should have reached out to her. Now, then again, I don't know. I think it may have been the old cast. Hell, Nene may have been in the cast, so that's way back when. So, however it was, no, because no, I take it back, because she said he worked at OLG, so that's a restaurant that I've been out there maybe 10 years, I'm thinking. I'm not really sure. So, just as a common courtesy, she could have, but she didn't have to. You see what I'm saying? Because once employees leave, you think about them, you hope they're doing well, but you don't really, be going around them too much or, at all. Because, they were your employee, you know what I'm saying? But Marlo feels bad about it. She's talking to her sister about it. Her sister agrees. And that's pretty much it. Courtney comes in and, they have their little one-on-one talk about what the comings and goings are. And she said thank you for helping her try to get some things straightened out legally with her record. Let me see. That was pretty much about Marlo, other than the end of the episode. Marlo is very disheartened of how Kenya has treated them the whole trip. And she hasn't been there for them. She rushed them. She misinterpreted or gave them false information that they were going to some type of luxurious HBCU type of gathering. And it was just the opposite. It was very, I don't know, like club scene motif it gave. And I don't think the filming crew was told, Kenya didn't tell the people that she was bringing a film crew. And they end up getting thrown out of the event towards the end. Because at first they were saying just the camera crew had to leave. But then, I don't know if it was a rule that, the camera crew was supposed to stay there and film everything. And since they didn't want them to do that, they were asked to leave. Now, how Kenya and the group got involved that they had to leave too. It was a mess because it seemed like they only stayed like the total time that they were there was maybe 20 minutes. So let's get into Kenya. And we're being fair and honest, you know. Kenya was a shit show. She was rushing people. She didn't plan well. And that's not the first time. When Kenya had another outing, when Candy them was there. I don't know if Nene was there or not. But she had ordered something for herself. And she let the other people have, like, she ordered the cream of the cream. And then she left Candy them, rest of the crew with hamburgers. Now that kind of rubbed Candy the wrong way because she likes a good crab cake. You know what I'm saying? So it's Kenya when it's, from what I've seen, okay? Other than event Mark and her were trying to do. I think he had his hand into that as well. So I don't know if Kenya knows how to do all this stuff or she wants to pay the money for it to look elegant and nice. You know, the presentation has to be everything because Kenya is everything when she presents herself and her packaging for, you know, KenyaMoore Healthcare. So you should do that the same way when you're hosting shit, Kenya. So you got an F on that situation. Let me see. Oh, and I physically, mentally, and very much physically want her to stop hosting shit because she's not a good hostess. She doesn't plan shit right. She wants other people to do for her, but she don't want to take the accountability and put it together herself or the vision and have the vision come, you know, to fruition of how she wants things to be paying out, you know, step by step by step, because she don't take anything lesser from her castmates, you know. So, you know, we want you to have accountability for your wrongs and your misdoings and your missteps, Kenya. Instead of trying to, you know, not talk about them and hoping they just go away. No, baby. No. Kenya was extremely rude, from my understanding, from my perspective, when it came to the ladies. Being there on time and how she treated them on every event they tried to do up until they were supposed to, you know, attend her event. Everything was rush, rush, rush. You know, people didn't have time to do this, that, and the third. And, you know, like I said, she was rushing Mayetta. She was rushing Sonya. And Sonya had to go do something out of the, what do you call it, the state, to go back to Georgia to do something. But then she hopped on the plane and came back. Now, if that ain't loyalty at its best, or its finest, I don't know what to say. Kenya left Marlo, Sonya, Mayetta at the hotel when she was supposed to be going to some event that was horrible and they got thrown out of, you know. And if I do recall, Kenya was making Candy and Todd when they had hosted something. I think Sonya was with them as hosting as well at some beach. She wasn't coming. She wanted more time to do things. Like, I got to call a thing, or I got to call a spade. You know what I'm saying? Piss poor, Kenya, piss poor. Then we got Kenya. Why didn't you approve? Oh, yeah. Why didn't you approve the camera crew before you sat there and said you were coming to this HBCU event? Because they could have told you up front, and then you could have said, nah, we can't go. But you didn't do that shit. Kenya, I didn't like how you was talking to that assistant. And I'm wondering, why you didn't get a black assistant? Okay, why you got a black assistant, girl? You need people of color need that money too that you're paying. I didn't like that either. I didn't like the fact that you was saying, put your phone out there where I can see your every move, wherever you taking my daughter. I'm like, girl, I'm going to take your daughter right back to the hotel and we just going to sit and look at television. You know what I'm saying? We're going to play with the blocks or whatever she get down and doing. She was just piss poor, piss poor. The bucking contest that she did with the ladies at the dance studio. You know Marlo won that shit. She gave it to Sheree. And I don't know why you were doing all that coughing. Or can you? No, you need to have seen a doctor. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got. Hopefully I did a fair review of this episode. If not, put it down in the comments. I'm sure y'all will. Okay, and that's all I got. I ain't got no more. And I will see y'all on the next video. Bye-bye.